Hello everyone, it's the Metal Geek. How y'all doing? As y'all know, I'm a huge fan of the Zelda series, and last night Nintendo released a new trailer for Zelda Breath of the Wild. Today, we're going to take a look at that trailer image by image. As in, we're going to look at the still images of this and see what we can pull from them. Generally, we're just going to take a look to see what's going on. As the trailer opens, all we really see is water, but if we look at the lower left of the screen, we will see some very important information. This game has an official ESRB rating of E10+. So it's going to be dark, but it's still going to be generally pretty safe for most people to play. Now moving on, we get a bunch of images that kind of just shows off the world of Hyrule. Really, all we're getting at the very beginning is just a big montage of the land. How big is Hyrule? How many different locations are there? Something tells me that this trailer only shows the tip of the iceberg. I'm pretty sure there's a whole lot more. These images go on for a while until eventually we end up in what appears to be the Lost Woods. Now if we take a look at this image right here, if you look towards the upper right, not completely up, but near the second tree in, you're going to see a Korok. Now this has been a big thing for people. Koroks have put a lot of people into thinking that this is going to happen during the adult timeline. If you've seen my other videos, I think it's in a Fallen Hero timeline. I don't think the Korok is enough proof that this takes place during the adult timeline because the Korok have only appeared once in this form. The only other time they have appeared in games, they were in a human form, or more of a human form, and that was in Ocarina of Time. But this definitely appears to be the Lost Woods, as in the next image that we get is actually the pedestal where the Master Sword rests, and this image is still beautiful every time I see it. But moving on, we finally get our first image of Link. At least in this trailer. I mean, we've seen plenty of other trailers and gameplay footage with Link, but this time, in this trailer, this is the first time we're actually seeing Link. He's looking over the valley at what appears to be the Hylian Castle, or Castle Hyrule. This is where the Calamity Ganon is imprisoned. And we're going to get to some photos of that very soon. At this point, it still just appears that the video is really just trying to show the vastness of the Hylian land. How big is Hyrule? Seems like a lot of these images are just really meant to show how gigantic this world is going to be, at least at this point in the trailer. But then, right around this point in the trailer, we start to get a little bit of story elements. Don't get me wrong, we're still going to look at how vast Hyrule is pretty much throughout the entirety of this trailer. But here, we actually start to get some real, tangible story elements, and that is in the form of a voiceover from various characters throughout. This particular one sounds like an elderly lady, which, to me, I would have to guess it might be Impa. But, I mean, that's debatable, but I think it's Impa, and this is what she has to say. The history of the royal family is also the history of the Calamity Ganon, a primal evil that has endured over the ages. The way she says it is very ominous, very dark, very like there's something looming over the entire Hylian land, and that kind of is the case with Ganon here. Now sure, we can speculate who it is that's talking here, but I am very convinced that this has got to be an older Impa, because it just really feels like it would have to be, especially with the Sheikah being such an important part to this story. I'm going with Impa. This has got to be Impa talking at this point, but let's move on with this trailer. And again, it looks like Nintendo is going to go back to showing off how big Hyrule is, at least for a while. But then the screen starts to rumble. We see little innocent animals sitting in the forest as they were like, what is going on? And then all of a sudden, BAM! The Sheikah Tower burst from the ground. Now, is this the Shrine of Resurrection? Is this where Link has been sleeping? Because I'm not 100% sure, but when this bursts out of the ground, the next thing they show in the trailer is the Calamity Ganon emerging from the castle. Now, again, trailers can be deceiving. You can cut them any way you want and pretty much say what you want. But I think that there's some sort of connection here. Is this when the final seal is broken and Calamity Ganon starts to break out, therefore calling the Sheikah Tower to rise from the ground, which is where Link is sleeping? I could be wrong, but I really feel like that's what they're actually showing here, is that with the Calamity Ganon appearing, the Sheikah Tower rises, the Shrine of Resurrection comes from the ground, and Link is awakened. Now at this point in the trailer, the Calamity Ganon is shown. Right after that, a whole bunch of monsters are shown. Like, it seems like it was very deliberate in this trailer to show the Calamity Ganon and then all the evil that comes with him when he breaks free, or at least starts to break free. You get a lot of action pieces here. Link really just fighting all these different monsters, fighting all these different beasts. And you also get to see some of the weapons that Link is going to collect throughout the game, the weapons that he's going to be able to use. We even get to see Link use the Sheikah tablet. But what I think is the coolest about this whole segment of the trailer is that we finally get to see some new footage of the Calamity Ganon. Right here is about the closest that we have gotten to see Calamity Ganon this close, like literally. I mean, we have seen him from a distance, but he's right in our faces here, and that's cool. It's really nice to see some new footage of the Calamity Ganon. The next part of the trailer moves on to showing towns, which is nice. We're actually getting to see some inhabitants here. We're getting to see towns and various other locales where people live and breathe and just live life. It's also setting up for something that comes a little later on in the trailer, which I'll talk about once we get there. This image, though, I actually want to really talk about for a moment, because this looks like a ruined fountain of some sort. Really, I think this might be the original, Hyrule Castle town, because it really looks like it was an inhabitant at some point. And you can see, like, all the various banners and stuff, and this kind of looks like this would be a town square. This is really sad, because that is like, wow, it's devastated. And I'm going to try to, like, link this to an image you're going to see in a little bit, and I'll tell you when we get there. But before that, this section right here is another story element section. This time, I believe the person that is talking is the King of Hyrule, Daphne Henson. Now, again, speculation. Could be wrong. But I will link it to something that he says a little later in the trailer, and then we'll see if it's right or wrong, or if you agree. But here I think it's Daphne Henson talking, and this is what he actually says here. That look on your face tells me that you have no recollection of me. However, I think you are now ready to hear what happened 100 years ago. Again, it's not a whole lot to go on, but the ominous nature in which this is said, and with so little being given, this story really feels like it's just going to be a very heartbreaking story. I mean, based on everything that has already been said, just a little bit that we've got, it already feels dark and ominous. But then, the heartbreaking aspect of the story is really solidified in the next segment of this trailer, and that's when we get to meet Zelda. We start off with this image of Link standing behind a female. Now, from this angle, you wouldn't be able to tell if it's Zelda or not, but you're pretty much assuming at this point that it's got to be Zelda. I mean, look at the look on Link's face. There's no smiles. There's no, hey, let's joke around and have some fun before we go on an adventure. It looks like he's about to deliver the worst news possible to Zelda, like, hey, your puppy just got ran over by a car. And the imagery just continues to stay dark and somber and very sad. Here you get this picture of Zelda standing inside of what looks like a spring in front of a statue, and she's like hugging herself. She's like shivering or cold or upset, but she's like legitimately she looks sad. Even though you can't see her face, she just looks sad. And then there's this image. It's just Link looking at Zelda, who's sitting down, just looking at the ground. I mean, the whole image itself is just, look at the fog, the gray tones. It's just such a somber picture. And even when we get images like this, where it's bright and uses warm colors, look at Zelda's face. What's going on in her mind? What happened to Hyrule? What happened to cause her to feel like this, to look like this? In this entire trailer, I don't think we see her or Link smile once. Just look at these images. I mean, really, what happened to Hyrule? I mean, look at these two images. The town is on fire. It's being attacked by the Guardians. Is this a recent image, or is this an image from the past? Is this Hyrule Castletown maybe getting destroyed? I don't know. I think this is actually a flashback. I think this is showing what happened to Hyrule. My interpretation of these two pictures is that Ganon got control of the Guardians, and he ordered them to attack Castletown. Hey, maybe this is where Link actually gets hurt or killed, and this is what causes him to have to be put into suspended animation. There's just so much going on here. And at this point, we actually do get a little bit more story elements, where here, Zelda says one thing, and one thing that shows just how sad and how ominous all of this really is. She says, everything I've done up until now, it was all for nothing. All for nothing? This is a woman who's apparently been trying to protect her people and her kingdom for God knows how long. And she feels like that everything she has done means nothing. Nothing. I mean, seriously, it's all pretty much capped off with these two images right here, which shows a very broken Zelda. And a Link that looks like he doesn't quite know how to deal with it all. Nintendo seems like they have gone all in with the cinematic aspect of this game. But what would a Zelda game be like if it didn't have some of its staples? And that, in this trailer, is to show off some of the familiar races that inhabit Hyrule. We have the Gorons, the Zoras, the Gerudos, and the Rito. But this one particular image, I'm not really sure who or what we're looking at. Is this a Sheikah? It could be a Sheikah. I mean, there's no saying it can't be, but this right here is a mystery that I really, really want to see solved. I can't wait for this game to come out just to meet all the different characters. I'm going to go with Sheikah on this one. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, yoo-hoo! But I'm going to go with Sheikah. Finally, we're at the end of the trailer. This gives us just a little bit more of the story. Only a little bit, but I believe this is the king, Daphno Henson. And what he says here is, you must save her, my daughter. Again, I said before that I thought that it was the king that was speaking earlier in the trailer. I could have been right and I could have been wrong, but this is the same guy, same voice, and he's asking Link to protect his daughter. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the king. I'm pretty sure this is the king. All in all, this trailer was quite amazing. It's got so much going on that, in all honesty, just watching it, you miss a lot. So I thought, you know, why not slow it down? Actually look at this image by image. So that is what we have done in this video. And there's a lot of clues that come up. I mean, if you take a look, there's this image of Link with the Master Sword. So apparently he does revive it to some extent. You get some clear images of the Korok. Also, look at these pictures of Zelda. Now, we've seen Zelda in this outfit, but she also wears this outfit, which is very similar to the outfit that the Zelda wore in Skyward Sword. That goddess gown, the one that represented Hylia. For me, these images are very telling. What they're showing is that Hylia is definitely going to be a major player in this to some extent. So what do you guys think? Am I off base? Do you disagree? Do you agree? What do you think of the trailer? What are some of your theories? Comment below, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you really like the video, go ahead and subscribe. I got a lot of other videos out there for you guys to check out if you haven't already checked them out. This is the Metal Geek saying, have a great one, guys.